In today's video, I'm going to show you how to start and basically join the Warhammer universe, what to buy, what not to buy, and essentially how to join the hobby for like around $100 because I've made some mistakes, I've done it all, and I don't think you guys want to do the same mistakes, but let's just check it all out. So to begin with, you got to buy models. So how you buy your models, I bought the big starter set that cost about $100. You don't need to do this. It's probably not even where I would recommend you start. So while this box was great and it definitely is a good starter set, it's basically 2 combat patrols. The problem is for $100 you get a lot of models and you get 2 teams, but you can't really play the game because you've got less than 500 points of each army. And then you're basically encouraged to spend to get to 1,000 points, 1,500 or 2,000 points, and you've never even painted or essentially experienced the game. So I would definitely not get this box set. If you're more interested in Warhammer Fantasy or Age of Sigmar, definitely start with a Vanguard or Spearhead. Basically, you'll get more models, so you'll get 10 to 30 models, and they are more pricey, but you're going to essentially get to play the game, and you'll get to play one of the best games from essentially Games Workshop. Like, Spearhead is hands down my favorite game mode. It's really good, and all you need to do is buy 1 box and you're sorted. However, for this video, because we're on a budget, we are going the cheapest route possible, which is going to be a kill team. So in this case, I have the AdMech Servitors, but it doesn't have to be this one. So what you'll do is essentially for $55, you will get access to buying a squad of 7 to 11 models. So you'll get to get your original models, and with those you can then go down to your local game shop or just encourage your friends to buy a box each, and then you can play at home. You might have to make your own terrain, but all the rules are online and they're all free. So it's a really good way to start the hobby. It's the one that I've also enjoyed the most. So I'm super biased, so let me know in the comments down below how you would start. But for me, I would definitely encourage people to just get 1 kill team to start the game in order to experience Warhammer. So I'm going to be fair, and I'm not going to do discount deals. I'm not going to be like, oh, share with a friend, and then do what I'm doing now where you like share models or split a box and stuff like that. I won't even encourage you guys to do Facebook third-party marketplaces and buy kill teams like that, which I just did last night, because it's just not going to be viable for everyone watching this video. So I'm just going to use Amazon as a reference point for everything in terms of costs. So the cheapest one I can find online is $50, but on average a kill team on Amazon is $55 US. So let's just lock that in. So for $55 you're gonna get something like this, or you'll get essentially a kill team and you'll get your 10 models, for example. Great. What do you do now that you've got your kill team? So the first thing you got to do is we need to cut out all of the models. So we just need to essentially get the tools to do that. So what you have to then do is you can buy some clippers. So you definitely need some clippers, and you definitely need a hobby knife. I always recommend a nail file. It doesn't have to be like special like sanding paper for plastic models. You can literally just go steal your mom's nail file. It just depends on what, like for your first one, just steal your mom's nail file. Just make sure it's got like the sponge one. It's better than, don't use the metal one. That one's terrible. And then you just need some plastic model glue. I'll include links or just photos from Amazon, the cheapest ones that I can find. But that's what you need. You just need these things. So you will cut out or clip out the plastic. You can peel and shave some of the plastic mold lines, file it down just to make it all beautiful, and then glue it all together. And then from this, all these parts, if you want, you can also buy a hobby mat, but it's not really a need. You can also just use like newspaper if you're on a budget. And then from there, you will essentially just get a plastic model that looks like this. So happy that, and these tools typically, let me just open Amazon quick. So these tools, I found you can basically bundle them together and you can get them for like $10. You can get these for $10, and then you just might have to buy a glue for like $5. But for $15, you'll get to this stage. So then our $55 plus 15, we're at like $70 around, it just depends. So now we got $30 to spend. The next thing you need is a primer. Let me just run and grab. It does not have to be the official Games Workshop Citadel, but it can't be, you essentially want plastic like miniature model primers. You don't want to go for anything that's too cheap, but you don't need to go for the official big brands. You like, I always just grab Mr. Hobby, which is the cheapest ones I find in Asia. So I've got all the different colors for the Mr. Hobby, and then just I do also keep some Games Workshop stuff because, you know, it is good. But you just need something to essentially prime your models. If you're on a super budget, you can go to the local game shop, and I'm pretty sure they'd be super cool and be like, yeah, you don't need to buy a whole can just for your first 10 models. They might just let you prime it for free. Or if you've got friends that are already in the hobby, they've definitely got primers, and I'm sure any of them would be more than kind to just prime 10 little models for free, because one of these things can probably prime a few hundred, like 100, 150 models quite easily. So it is a bit of a waste to buy a whole thing of these just for 10 models, but it does need to be included, and that's about like $10. So the cheap ones are like $10. There aren't any links on Amazon that I can include just because they rattle cans and there's probably a danger in shipping those. So just go to a local Games Workshop or hobby shop and you can get them. And once that's done, your models basically look like this, where they're built, they're primed, and then now they're ready to paint. So what I always recommend beginners do is go online and buy the cheapest paint sets possible. I kid you not, I do it all the time. You can just see, you get 3 different ones. So 0, 1, 2, because as beginners, we ruin brushes. Like it's like, don't feel bad if you're not an expert. These were my first ones, the same thing. I just bought the cheapest brushes online that I could. And you can see I did not take good care of these. Let's see if I can get photos of the tips, but it's okay. We're beginners, you're gonna make mistakes, but you don't need to go buy some crazy expensive professional painters animal hair limited edition that got pulled off a monkey's tail once a year on the cliffs of Kathmandu, and they cost $200 per brush. It's crazy. When you get better, you can buy something a little bit more expensive, but once again, I haven't even used these yet because I'm too afraid. I need to be. And yeah, like I said, you're gonna mess up your brushes, and that's okay. So just buy something cheap. You don't need that. You can just buy 3 brushes and they'll last you more than the 10 models that you're going to start with. But it's a great place to start. I can see a pack of 8 paintbrushes for like $4, and it's the same black brand as this online. So definitely snag something like this. And yeah, don't be afraid to ruin the paintbrushes and just have fun experimenting. The next thing you're going to need is paint, and paint can get expensive, especially if you buy 1, 2, 3, and like, don't fall for the same trick that I did where I get all the different types of greens and all the different types of blues. But you do need paints to paint your model. You can be super, you could be super efficient and just get a white, a black, a yellow, a red, and a blue, and then be like, woohoo, I can make my own paints. But typically, you can go find some basic paint sets that are quite cheap. I can see one online for $22, and you get 8 Vallejo ones, which is pretty good, considering that they're normally about $2 a pop. So 8 for 22, it's not the best ratio, but it's not the worst. We would be ideally looking at 10 or 11, but it also just depends on what country and region you're from. I'm not too sure how much you guys pay for your paints, but you typically want a black, a white, a solid color, maybe a bronze or gold, a silver. So just find a starter set, or you can borrow and bum and share with like friends. And if it's literally just one color that you're missing, you can just go into any Games Workshop hobby shop, and I'm sure that they'll have a painting section, and they'll be more than kind enough to be like, yeah, use our silver and finish off your weapons, like no problem. And that basically is how you get into Warhammer, because then once you painted your models, they'll look like this, and then they're more than board ready, and you can just go play and roll some dice and enjoy the hobby, and then become like me and get addicted and then just buy more and more. But yeah, I guess the only other thing that I would recommend is you might need a paint palette. You can get one of these cheap stars or flower things for like $5 online. You don't need to get anything special for the water. I just use a bowl, but you could even use a bowl for your paints. It just might not be practical, but you definitely don't need a wet palette or anything like that. And that's how you get into, that's literally how you get into Warhammer, guys. Hope this video helps. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.